Good morning. What does chasing the shadow mean? Well, I have really good light in here and I'm sanding for shape. And what that means is when I'm rounding over the nose, I'm looking at the shadow on the side of the fuselage and I'm chasing that down until it all disappears. So I got the cowl done. I have the motor installed. It's not completely done. I still have to hollow it out, but we're going to detail sand some of this today. I put some superfill on the spinner area to try to blend it in last night. But here she is. This is I mean this thing is 90% complete as far as what's going on here. As far as the woodwork goes, all we have to do now is finish sanding. That's the real work begins now. I mean, there's going to be a lot of sanding here to make this a super nice finish. I'm going to blend in the canopy on this video, and there's the bottom of the airplane. Finish blending in the spinner area. I put the carbon spinner on it. It's not quite the same shape as a Randy spinner. So I don't know what we're going to do there yet, but we'll figure it out. I might have to, after I glass the nose, I might have to build it up some more with superfill. But I've got to get the nose glass first. So we might do that today. Probably not on this video, but there's a lot of work to be done. So let's get to sanding. We start the day off sanding. Good morning, Daniel Berry. I need to kind of straighten up this workbench a little bit. I got shit everywhere, but at least now I don't have to as far as I know, I have to sand with any more 24 grit. I got the cowl down to 19 grams now. Thank you, boss. I've got the cowl down to 19 grams. I think I can get it down a little farther because it's quite a bit. I'm going to lose quite a bit of thickness. But I kind of had to leave it as such until I got the holes in it. That's odd. Oh, the CA. This is one of my junk engines here, so it doesn't matter that it's open. Let me switch camera angles. I've got quite the mess going on here. Let's see here. So, if you want to enjoy a day of sanding, this is the channel for you. Otherwise, search on because we're going to be sanding today. Hopefully, I can get it sanded out close enough that I can start getting it glassed, and we'll start putting some dope on it. I don't think we'll get that far today, but Now, Gordon Delaney, if you're watching this, watch how easy superfill sands. This is superfill. And we're going to sand it right out. Let's see what happened to my round bar. I just had it up here. Oh, there it is. Let me clean this off so we get some sticky on it. Gordon was worried about, he uses leather fillets. That's old technology. A lot of people were worried about superfill because they had some bad experiences with epoxylite. Well, epoxylite was like sanding a rock. It should be eroxylite, because if you don't get it smooth when it's in its wet state, you're in deep trouble. You're going to be sanding with 20 grit, 24 grit. Shoot. Yeah, we got no stick on this thing. Yep, eroxylite is what it should be. Okay, this is a Durablock round. .180 grit. And we'll dedicate this this sand out to Gordon. And you don't need 36 grit for superfill. Now, chasing the shadow, I can see that there's a shadow right there. We'll have to come back open-handed and chase that shadow. You try to get all the shadows out of it. Then you have a nice flowing aircraft. I would say chasing the shadows is hardest on the nose, because it's there's a shadow line. Here's a carbon fiber line, that black line right there. And just under that, about 1/4 of an inch, there's a shadow. So you just take the block and you just sand on the shadow. Until it goes away. And try to get all the shadows out before you put the hard stuff on, the dope and the covering. I mean, you're still going to have them in the dope and the covering, constantly chasing the shadow. Change this camera angle. Stand it up. Zoom it in. Okay, I'll try it there. It's going to be out of frame. Out of frame. See, this is the hard. Hey, Jeff. high spots. Actually, yes. The high spots are creating shadows. And that's what you do with body work, you know, on a car. Now I got this nice foam block. It helps you set the wing on it or the nose on it or whatever, and it helps me hold the airplane. Shoot, I should have put a little superfill in that. Damn. Oh well. We're gonna have to do something to change angles so I can get a hold of this thing. There we go. I'm seeing a high spot right there, which is the shadow, you know. So if we got to get this, when I sand, I try to get the shape first, like I get the flat, and then chase the shadow. I thought the title would be catchy, but you see, Gordon, I don't hope you're watching this. You see how easy that sanded out? That was superfill, and we got the shape now. We just need to refine it a little bit, and I'll do that with my hand. Gordon Delaney is a compadre that I don't know. We kind of, I didn't know him back then at Whittier Narrows, but he flew at Whittier with Tom and those guys, so I consider him one of my compadres. And I'm still wondering if Bill Noyes is watching. Of course, he can't hear, so he wouldn't be hearing anything I say. So he did say that he was looking at the forum all the time, but he just, I don't even know if he's still alive. Most everybody he had to be, Bill had to be at least 20 years older than me, so. Balls of dust. So keep it sanding. Yeah, I think superfill sands easier than balsa wood. The other guy said, no, it doesn't. I don't know. You ain't doing it right then. Probably take another coat on there. We won't do that till after it's covered. You know, last night I was figuring weight to see what it's going to come out, and I had it 50 to 54 ounces. I think it's going to be lighter still because I didn't figure some of the stuff right. That's if I can lay off the paint can. Paint is your single heaviest. The next heaviest thing compared to the engine, the paint. I was going to use the GM soak span. I just can't bring myself to do it. We're going to have to use the light stuff so we can stay light. You get a nicer finish, but it's at a cost. It's going to cost you an ounce or two. You just have to sand more and paint less. Sand more, paint less. Let me get some of this stuff off the bench. Okay, this goes over here. Today's going to be cleanup, and I'm going to do some plan drawing today too. Now, do you guys want me to stream the plan drawing? If that would be pretty boring. Of course, I need to for the DVD. We got Tony Dallas building a DVD for us. Everything from concept to flying. And yes, I will show it fly. And hopefully it flies right off the bench correctly. There's not any trimming. That's a stupid thing. Trimming. Trim. You didn't build it right. Think about it. If you got to put down thrust, or hey, Steve, yeah, early start to a long day. If you got to put down thrust or up thrust or some kind of tweak of a flap or this and that, you built it wrong. It's all there is to it. It should be at zero, everything, and there shouldn't be any tweaking or. I mean, stuff happens during the build, but. Try to pay attention to what you're doing, make everything perfect. I got a little hole there I need to fill up. Little hole. Okay, Gordon, you see this superfill here? Watch how easy that sands out. And I'm just hand sanding 180. I'm not pushing very hard either. I'm letting the paper do the work. Yeah, I'm going to save that for Gordon. We'll save this for Gordon and send it to him. Tony, if you're watching, cut this out. This little bit where I mentioned Gordon Delaney and send it to me via drive, would you, so I can send it to Gordon at 10 seconds worth or 15 seconds worth. Because it's pretty damn easy. Let me back up the camera a little bit. it is. Guess we need to turn it down now. Anybody wants to know what the tape is for? To keep these from falling off when I'm moving it around. They won't get glued on until, that's the last thing I do, is glue on the elevators and flaps. The last thing I do. That's a long ways away, so it don't much matter. Good. It's a long ways away. I think I'm going to take the engine out of this so I can move it around a little easier. We'll get a weight on things too. Should be back to 23 again, 23 and change. I need to get a piece of aluminum tube in this hole. I got to clean that up. Lot to do here. Yeah, that's good. I like to start finishing it a week or so. Yeah, this is just a mock-up engine here. It's one that when I get a Brian Gardner liner, I'll take apart and put new bearings and ABC liner in it. A lot of material I can take out here, and I mean there's a lot of material left to come off of this thing, but what happens is it doesn't amount to anything. I mean, we got most of the bulk of the material off of it already, so we might gain a couple grams here or there, but every gram helps. What it means is every gram I take off here is a gram I can put on and finish. Okay. So I got this cowl. Let me, it's at 19 grams right now. I think it started out 1.4 ounces. It's at 19 grams, but if you look at this thing, look how thick it is. There's a lot of material to get off of there yet. We need that all down to 3/32. A lot of material to come out of this. So I won't bore you with, I'm going to sit and sand this probably off camera, but you want to sand that down until it's 3/32, and then we'll put fiberglass on it. Okay. We're going to do the outside sanding. I can do that inside sanding anytime. But remember, the inside of your airplane should look as good as the outside. Less the finish. You know, you're not finishing the inside, but should be sanded as good on the inside as it is on the outside for maximum weight savings. Let's see where we're at now for weight. God, I hope we're back down to 23 and change. Probably 24 though. Have to figure out how to get her down. $682 grams. Let's see. Mode 2410. So we need to get her down at under 23 again, so it keeps sanding. We'll keep the sanding. This is going to take some more. If you figure 40 ounces before engine and paint and drivetrain, you'll have a 75 ounce airplane. I know a lot of guys who figure, well, I can go to 40. No, you can't. It'll be heavy, heavy, heavy. This is that hole that I had in. Or is it this side? This side. That big hole, when I pulled that pin out. You know what? I'm going to take some superfill and build a mold. Make it 1/8 inch thick, 6 inches long, 3 inches wide. And we're going to figure out what weight density it is. I'll trowel it in there and let it cure and peel off the mold and weigh it up. I bet it's 4 pounds. We got it. Okay, I'm going to chase the shadow here. Get it flat first, then chase the shadow. Not as good as that's going to get. We got a little bit of booger right there. I'm not going to sand it off. I'm going to pick it off. White glue globule. That didn't get wiped off, so we'll just take a knife because it'll be forever getting that off. Get under it, pick it off. There it went. There it is. So how many of you guys are going to build this airplane? Or are you going to prove John right that they won't build it until I'm dead? course, they built Gordon Delaney's Pathfinder by the millions. Here's what you can expect when building this airplane. It's going to take 200 hours to frame it up. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not. I did it in 15 days. A little more than, yeah, that's 150 hours. But it'll be 200 hours because it won't get done for 20 days. But you don't have to do it as fast as I do. I mean, just spend the time on it. It's a little challenging, but it's not difficult. If you follow the steps that I put forward in the videos, it goes together relatively easy. That's a low right there. It's going to be a bummer. I'm gonna order some sandpaper today, I think. Some 80, 320, some 400. I'll get that on the 60 roll. Should have put a little right there too. Mix up another batch. Now I'm looking down here and there's a big shadow to chase across the top of this curve here. It's a hard line right there. So when you got the shadow, you want to sand just above the dark. You want it to get rid of the high spot. See, right there, I put a flat back in it. Listen to the sandpaper. You hear like that. Keep sanding until it goes away. More like that with some glue. I think next only piece of woodwork to do is the fillets for the elevator stabilizer. I think we'll do them here next. And they're going to be a little difficult because of the way that I built this stab. It's a flat plate with 3/32 between, so that means it's thicker than 1/2 inch. So I will take 1/4 inch and build them up. I only got 2 of them to do. So I need 4 pieces of that. I'm hoping that there's enough here, enough in this. Yeah, there is. Plus I need a piece of 3/32 because this is good light stuff. This is 3.5 pound 1/4 inch. If you're gonna put anything on your airplane, put the lightest shit at the back. And I'm looking at that. I need to roll that over some or move that way. Yeah. Now this is basically the rough sanding. I got to go back over this whole thing with 320, maybe 600. You know, maybe down to 600. This is 180 here, so it ain't ready. It ain't ready for prime time. It's just rough sanding it in. I'll get another round of stupid fill. Let's do this side again. How many of you guys enjoy watching me sand? I mean, I see the numbers go back and forth. It'll be a day of sanding today. Get ever so close, though. Come on. What the hell have I got there? I'm going to have to sand or sando there. Okay. And I'm always looking for the spots that I've missed. I'm going to move the camera. We're going to detail in this winglet here, and I'll explain to you what I did. Okay, close up, Mr. DeVille. Okay, let's put this down. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to need to have it back over this way. Clear this shit out. I think we'll go to Harbor Freight today and get us some stuff. Okay, mouse is right here. Okay. This sphere right here was broken off at the end. I was contemplating, you know, putting a piece of wood in it and not monkeying around with that stuff. I decided just to go ahead and superfill it, and we'll do the body work like I would a motorcycle frame or a car or whatever. So we want to sand the flat first, and then sand the thing out, and then do the end. It'll be perfect. I try to explain stuff like that to people, and I don't get it. Okay, you see the flat come in? Almost there. There it is. So this whole piece back here is all superfill. It's not wood at all. And then we'll sand this line. I know some of you builders that watch this get it, but there's a lot of people that come on this channel that are new to building, and they really need to know these really simple tricks. Okay, we got the bottom. You just rest the block right on. This is a balsa block. It's got a little area between the sandpaper and the side, you know, thousandths or so. Just rest the block on the fillet. See, the thing is, after this airplane gets covered, superfill goes in the crack there too, so I got to come back and do that again. But you want to start out with the part there. You don't want to do it afterwards. Sand that on there. Bondo, Sando the Bondo. What do you got there, buddy? Bondo buggy. My name's Bad Chad. I'm a Bondo buggy man. Boy, that guy's something else. Like I said, if you want to see a real craftsman, and he's a kid, look for the channel Make It Custom with a K, Kustum. The guy is a metalsmith. I mean, super cool. He does some, and he's a young kid, 40 years old maybe, 35, 40 years old. I don't know how his body work is, you know, but his metal work is fabulous. I don't think his channel is as big as Bad Chad because he doesn't have Jolene running around. And I don't think she's all that great. But then we get it down to 23 ounces. Anybody can paint, not everybody can sand. I can tell you that right now. We can make it shiny by pouring 6 gallons of paint on it. We'd be sanding down to 80 grit if it was up to Chad. Ooh, sand her down and prime her up. I gotta say, different paints have different properties. Lacquer is very thin and it's always shrinking. Well, gotta go for now. Okay. Work beckons. See you later, Steve. And enamels are thick. They, you know, that's why I'm not real hip on urethane and stuff. I am going to try some water-based paint, though, because I got some paint that's for automotive, that for custom paint, it's water-based that you can spray lacquer over. So we're going to do a test on that before I do it. At least I'll do the graphics and the stuff. I'll use dope on the airframe, but do the graphics in that airbrush paint. Then we'll spray clear over it. I think that guy's name is Carl. It doesn't matter because we're going to fill that up anyway. Spando the bando. Where's my buddy Yogi? Well, I got the big stuff done. We got the big stuff done. I guess we'll just do an hour and then I'll come back later when I mean, this is pretty boring. Pretty boring. This nose ring I opened up pretty good. That all gets, we got to get in there with my finger and hollow all that wood out of there, but the nose ring even gets open farther, but I just wanted to get it far enough to do this. There's the cowl dowel right there that holds the cowl on. One little 1/8 inch dowel. Never had a problem with them. You got to saturate them with CA, but not a big deal. I got a couple of highs there. Whew. Chase the shadow. That hard line is hard to get rid of. This okay, if you were here, you could probably see it. If you look here, what I can see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers right there in that little spot right there. 6 layers of wood. So in order to get this, and I'm not going to go any more on this until I get some glass on it, because it's what's creating those hard lines is dissimilar hardnesses. Meaning this is soft, that is hard, this is harder, that is soft, that is super soft, and that's hard. So what we got to do, we either got to paint it all with CA, which I don't want to do, or fiberglass the whole thing, which I'm going to do anyway, and get it all to the same hardness. Then I can basically shape it, and any lows I can put superfill on it and sand it to shape. So if you're trying to sand a shape and you have different hardnesses, you've got to bring them up to all the same hardness. So put Z-epoxy, CA, whatever it's going to take, something sandable on the thing to bring it all to the same hardness. Otherwise, you're just chasing your tail. You can't, you can never get it out. You know, like that hard line right there. Now I'm chasing the shadow down here, but I shouldn't even be doing that until I get it all hardened up. So what we need to do here, let's work on the inside of this cowl a little bit. We got it at 19 grams. I wanted it under 15. I need to put a shorter screw in this thing too. Kind of 1-inch screw in it. Only need a 1/4 inch. There it is. Let me take this out. So how do I want to do this? I guess the cut saw bit. Where did it go? No, I got 2 of them out. I'm really bad about that when I'm here at home. At work, I'm really organized, but at home, oh, there it is. I just throw shit all over the place. Too much of a hurry, trying to get too much done in a quick amount of time. Remember, I want it down to 3/32 all the way. Pretty boring video watching a guy Dremel or sand. Can't say this is an exciting channel. But what I do bring, can't find anywhere, Got a lot of guys who say they know what they're doing. Do they really? And we got a long way to go there. When I'm doing these, I weigh them. Like this is at 19 grams. You go, well, can I get another gram off? Can I get it down to 18? Then you get it to 18, you say, can I get another gram off? Because it's very hard. Once you're down so thin, it's very hard to get the smallest amount off. And as light as you can get it is going to be sanded till it's a perfect 3/32 of an inch. Don't take it any thinner than that. You won't have any structure. You won't have any structure left. Well, I hope this one turns out good enough and I get it trimmed out that it can show up at next year's nest. But I'm already thinking about the next one, so we have a backup. Okay, let's hand sand a little bit. In order to hand sand, you need to glue sandpaper to your fingers. At least I do. And then we got to clean all this up inside here and get this sanded out. I'm going to try to take it to the bare minimum, everything. That's why don't look for any big construction videos for a month. It's going to be sanding videos, finishing videos. I took a 16th off there, and I bet it ain't even close yet. You need to make you a pair of these too. Yeah, we're at 1/4 inch still. That gives you the thickness of the wood, you know, that you're trying to sand. To be honest with you, the first time I ever saw those was at John's place, and I just copied John's. But man, what a good idea! Because I always held mine up to the light to you know, candle it and see what color it was. $19 grams, so I wonder how fast it's going to get this down. Bando the bando. Needs to go over that way. Sendo the bando. I love that. I bet we didn't drop much. Was it yesterday I built the cowl? It'll be done here in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but it'll be done today. Well, that's the glass. Yep, we're gonna go Harbor Freight. Let me see what time it is. We'll go at 10 o'clock. Get us some razor blades, a 12-inch disc sander. Gotta get that before the economy at the bottom falls out. Pretty good, pretty good. Not bad. Got a little bit of looseness there. Let's see what it weighs, see if I can get another gram out of it. Started 19. It's down to 17. 2 grams to go to get it to ½ ounce. You watch how long it, I mean, that last 2 grams. That last 2 grams is a struggle. I'd like to get it down to 14, but I doubt it. Under a ½ ounce. And by the time it's done with the glass and the paint on, it'll be back to an ounce. So I've given you these weights. Oh, I better change sandpaper. I'm giving you these weights. I mean, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I know what everything weighs. You know, like a crutch or a stabilizer or landing gear. And it's pretty much the rule of thumb. And you gotta be there, you know. Like landing gear, 3 ounces. It doesn't matter. I found it doesn't matter whether it's wire gear with wheel pants, wire gear with landing doors, carbon gear with wheel pants and wheels. It's 3 ounces. It just doesn't matter. Anything you can beat under 3 ounces is a win. Some are even a little heavier than that, but you want to try to, target weight is 3 ounces. You want to try to be at or below 3 ounces for gear, and it ain't easy to do. Just like an elevator stabilizer is 3 ounces. This one's 2.1. That means I have a little extra room for paint. That's all you're doing is taking weight off so you can put it on and paint. Because buddy, the paint will put it on quicker than anything. And we're almost to the stage of everything is an add-on instead of a subtract. That's loose there. Ooh, that didn't sound good. They become pretty fragile when they get down to that thin. It's this. We'll get it. Saw Howard Rush in the latest model aviation. He some kind of combat match, vintage combat. Did we get it down any? Probably not. 17. Oh, we got it down to gram. We're at 16. Whee! Now we got to get one, at least one more somehow. I'm trying to get this thing down in the 23s instead of 24s. So every little bit helps. What was that? But nothing off this. We'll get it down another gram, and then I'll go on to something else, because I know this is boring to watch me do this, but I got to get it done. I'm going to try to make it 14. We'll get it to 15, but I'm going to try to. It'd be nice to get it to 7. It just ain't gonna happen. So how I do this is a competition with myself. Can I make it a gram lighter each time? And it gets harder and harder to do the thinner and thinner you get. I don't think so, but we'll try it. It is at 15 now. Okay. We'll try to do one more gram and then we'll go on to something else. Here and I'm going to get that. See, I did this side, now I do this side. Get her to 14, then I'll put it back on and weigh the airplane. We got to get it under 23 again. Or under 24, I mean. I'll have to do that with the ball, I guess. 15 still. I'm standing with 80 when I'm going to change jobs here in a minute. I'm standing with 80, but I'm going to finish with 180. I've sanded them down to 320 before. I think my Supermarine is sanded at 320. But 180 is plenty because you're going to Z-epoxy it in here. And you don't really paint them all. I mean, they're finished okay, but yeah, I got that coming loose again. Edged with 64th ply. Be careful of this thing, it'll hurt you. Ah! Got me. Woo! Shit. Yeah, that's... I don't know if you guys ever played with that, but look at that cut saw bit. Got my shirt, grabbed it, and wound it tight. Okay, so let's see. Let's check the cowl here. The cowl is still 3/16 thick, so we might get her down. We need a 3/32, not 3/16. But I'm not going to continue to sand on this. I get kind of tired of this. We'll go back to it later. Let's see what it is now. Did we make 14? Nope. 15 still. That last gram is gonna gonna be a bitch. But like I say, I'm tired of sanding on that, so we'll go on to something else. That's my square. There we go. Now I got this light ply or the 64th ply inside here. We want to get that off. The ultimate goal is to get this down back in the 23s instead of 24s. Take a little here, a little there. I probably could sand the inside of these doublers too. Almost. Not even sound loose. I gotta get it close before I can glue it. How many guys are still with me? Pretty boring video, hour and 45 minutes or hour and a half. We'll stop at 2 hours. I'll continue to sand, but You guys won't have to go through it. Because there'll be 10 hours of sanding today, I can tell you that right now. "10 hours of sanding." Let me cut some of this off. Want to get in the 23s with this. Hey, John. We got to get in the 23s. Now, John, you saw my work up close at the Nats, where a lot of guys have only seen pictures. I mean, those were old airplanes, but you could tell. I think I had both Continentals there this year. You know, the reason I mention that is a lot of people look at this channel and look at the airplanes. See, they look good in video, but do they look that good in person? Okay, we got that squared up. I'm gonna take a little weight off. Shit, we only got to go down 3 grams on this thing to make it in the 23s. It'd be nice to get down to the 22s. That ain't gonna happen. Yeah, we got to get some glue under there. You're the guy that bought my one of my Super Tiger 46s, right? I think so. I got more stuff. Come on now. Let's hit it with the kicker. It's hard to remember everybody. Just remember, you're a big guy. Well, everybody's big compared to me. Everybody's big compared to me. Get that over there. Well, that's great. Builder of the model rule came about because of Daddy built airplanes. So he needs to get here and watch these videos to see how it's done so that he doesn't need any help. There we go. That's right. Yeah, well, you can. Try not to do it when I'm streaming. I only get 10 million calls a day. I have to turn the phone off. But that's the price of fame and fortune. Okay, let's put this back together. Put it on the scale, see what it weighs, see if we're in the 23s again. Let me get a shorter screw for that. That's ridiculous. I need a 3/4. Actually, 1/2 inch would be better. All right, well, I'll talk to him. Okay, we had it at 2410 before we started sanding here. And we're now $23.95 going down. We only got to get rid of 95. I don't know what that 0.95 is. Let's see what the grammages is. I need a new scale. Come on, you just stood up there. What's the deal? $6.79. If we get down to $6.50, boy, that'd be great, but that ain't gonna happen. $6.79. Oh, we got a bump there. Oh, we got right there. We gotta get off. We got bumpages right there. We got some stuff to get off there. Daytime TV, Sparky Sanding. But what are you going to watch? As the stomach turns or what? I'm going to write that number down, 679. We'd like to lose 9 grams anyway. 679. 679. Where can I get 9 grams from? You're not going to get 9 grams from this fiddle saddling, I can tell you that. I don't believe. We got to find a place we can get 9 grams. I suppose I could reach in there and sand a little bit. I know I can get a little bit out of here. $6.79. You can still get a little bit out of that. So let me do this. We want to follow the line here. I guess I'll get the camera and put it overhead so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to remove all this material here because 9 grams is a lot, and I don't think it's here, but we can try. That's 3/8 of an inch thick. It's 3/8 of an inch, so we can get quite a bit out of that. So we're going to try to get 9 grams from somewhere. We're going to take a little here, a little there. Hopefully don't poke through the outside. That would kind of be a bummer. Matter of fact, it'd be a big bummer. That's the only, I mean, maybe I could grind. I don't want to grind on those. I just don't know. I don't know where I could get it from. Don't let this thing bite you. It got me. It's going to be hard to stand in there. A little more than that. If I get a gram out of this, I'll be lucky. Yeah. Well, when that thing bit my shirt, it really tightened up. My good AMA shirt. But we ain't wearing my Grumman hat. Not till I'm not wearing no Grumman hat in the dust here. Too much of dust. What do you guys think of this new drum sander replacement? You pull up on it, pulls right off. Pretty handy. Put a new disc or drum on it. Let's see here. Which one's coarser? We want the coarsest one. About the same. You just push it on here. Gotta pull it up. Of course, when I want to do it. And push it down till it locks. That's pretty handy. Shit. And be able to see. Yeah. Yeah, shit. Pretty dusty. Welcome back, Steve. Yeah, I don't think I better go any farther than that. Okay, so now how are we going to sand that? I guess we'll have to use my thumb. Use my thumb. Yeah. Glue the paper to your thumb. You know, you don't have to be as anal as I am about this, but it's nice to have a good looking airplane, I think. You know, inside and out. So when you take the motor out, ooh, that's nice. Not only that, I think it gives a little better cooling for the engine because it's got more room in the bottom of for the bottom end. Put a piece of sandpaper on that finger too. Take this from practical experience. I see it all the time. Some guys put a weep hole on top of the fuselage, you know, out through the crankcase to vent the crankcase. Don't do it. I ain't buying that it works. And it's a pain to finish. Some guys will, I'm sure, will argue with me, but whatever. You won't see any of that. I did it once. You know damn well it doesn't work. Just give it plenty crankcase clearance like I'm doing here. Not only that, it makes the airplane lighter. Getting rid of all that material up there you're carrying around in the nose for nothing. There's a lot of people that are afraid to lighten the nose up because they figure they're going to be tail heavy and have to add bullshit. Just make everything as light as you can, and then if you're tail heavy or whatever, add the weight as needed, but I wouldn't just leave it in there willy-nilly. Try not to be tail heavy. That tail heavy comes from paint. You get 1 quart of dope to paint an airplane, not a gallon. And I teach Kenny Stevens all the time. His airplane's beautiful, but boy is it heavy. 75 ounces. Not for me. Like I say, it's beautiful. They got a gallon of paint on the damn thing. How am I going to get down there? Can't get down there. I'm going to have to think of something goofy. Glue it to this finger, I guess. Let's do the best I can. $6.79. Where do you think we're going to be? I think we went to $6.78. I don't know where I can get any more out of this thing. I'm gonna have to get a stick or something to make a tool to get down in there. I'll worry about that later. $6.79. Let me cut these straight. Actually, no. Let's leave them. Did I cut them off before I waited? $6.79. Give her a whirl, Earl. See what it weighs. I gotta add it back on with a tube there. I'm gonna have to go to Shaper and get me a 1/4-inch tube. Aluminum tube. Oh, wait a minute. I did get some. Because I was gonna make a push rod. Okay, great. Need to find it. Need to find it. $6.79. Okay. Come on now. Still $6.79. You can't believe how hard it is to get any weight off of this thing once you get to this point. I just don't know where we're gonna find it. Okay, let's switch views. Yeah, 23.95, yeah. I gotta figure out how to get rid of that 9.5. Where am I gonna get that from? We're still about 10 ounces lighter than everybody else, but I'd like to be sub 50. It ain't gonna happen though. Get them balsa boogies out. Whew. I gotta take the trash out. We'll end this stream. We'll end the stream. I'll do a little cleanup. I gotta take the trash out, sweep the floor, clean the bench off. I still gotta trace them parts before I lose them for the plans. We're getting there. It'll definitely sub 60, but I don't think I can make it sub 50. It's just not in the cards. The wood is just too damn heavy. But do the best I can. Yeah, I got a shop vac. I got 5 of them. They're in the garage from my other shop in the garage, the wood shop. Cabinet shop out in the garage. I got real shop vacs, ones that say shop vac on them. And I'll have to go down and get one. I've still got that room to worry, clean up, so Steve can have a place to work at. All the paint under the table, and I think I'm going to take some out to the garage. I think I already did take some out to the garage. Well, power to weight is one thing. Inertia is another. This is what I tried to explain to Brett Buck, but he, he's an aerospace engineer, and he said, we got power. Well, an F4 Phantom's got power, but if the engine quits, it falls out of the sky because it's a brick. I think the performance would be way, way, way better if it was half its weight, or a third, not a third, but lose a quarter of its weight. When you're flying along, body in motion tends to stay in motion till locked upon by an equal opposite force, and you give it up and it goes like that. It wants to slide. If you watch these heavy airplanes at the Nats, they go whoop, like that, and they slide over, and then they go up. Back in the 60s, because the airplanes were sub 40, they'd go whoop and right straight up. And my 58-ounce Junar is the feeling that I'm looking for of the 60s airplane, even though it's big, it's 700 square, is what I'm looking for, but it still slides because that 8 ounces. When you're going along like this and you go like that, it still slides a little, but when you're coming down out of the reverse wing, or we go now, bang, like that, you don't have to. What I'm explaining is these heavy airplanes, you got to time it. You go, well, I'm going to start turning 25 feet above 5 foot, and then they kind of mush into the corner. A light airplane just turns. So even though we have the power to power these monsters, it's the inertia that gets you. And I tried to explain that to Brett, but he wanted to argue with me about it. Whatever, Brett. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for... And that's part of the reason why this airplane was one of my favorites because the trailing edge is swept forward. That moves the center of pressure forward, meaning I can run the nose, more nose heavy. This thing will probably balance right here. I don't know if you can see it right here, way ahead of the spar, probably 2.5 inches behind the leading edge. And you say, well, why do you want to be so nose heavy? Because in the wind, it's directionally stable. And because it's light, it will turn like that. But if it was heavy, it'd be a slug. It'd be just like my Magnum. With all that weight, it'd go whoop, and then mush. It's terrible. Really study the air. Don't look at the pattern when these top guys are flying. Really study the airplane. What is it doing? And I was taught that by Ron O'Toole. And he's exactly right. I mean, when they go over like Dave Fitzgerald, when he goes over the top, no motor offset, they run everything 0-0. The airplane's heavy. The guy's kneeling down almost on the ground trying to get line tension. You can see the sag in the lines. Now, with the advent of these Spectre lines, and I have flown on them, they are lighter, but I think because they're thicker, and you say, what do you mean they're thicker? Well, they don't hold their shape like a steel cable. I can see it as I'm flying. It's like, yeah, it looks like a cable when you got it on the reel, but when you put it on the airplane, it looks like the wind is fanning them out, and they cause drag as far as I can see. They're light, but you can see that thing fanning out, like the fibers are opening up ever so slightly. It's not by, you got to be really aware of what's going on. Watch the lines on the Spectres, and they look like they're fanning out like that. So I think I'm going to stick with steel. Thanks, Denny, for letting me try them. That and the thing in the back of my head, are these things going to break? Are the knots going to let go? So I'm pretty old school on that. I'm glad that they went to the line size restriction of by weight instead of by engine size, which didn't make sense at all. Of course, there's a lot of shit they do don't make sense, but who am I to say? All right, we got any questions as I see it? 679. How can I get 9 grams off of this thing? 670. 1/4 ounce. Where am I going to find it? To be honest, I could find it, but it would change the airplane. I don't want to do that. Could probably reach in there with a Forstner bit and drill a couple of holes in the leading edge of the spar, cut out some more out of the flaps back there. I don't want to do that. A couple of holes at the tips. I mean, it's just not, there's no material there to get out. 9 grams is 1/4 ounce is a long ways, and you could sand on this thing for a week and not sand a 1/4 ounce off, I don't believe, unless you find some big. I haven't left any big wood parts. It's the least amount of everything on there. So can I get a 1/4 ounce off it? I don't think so. I think I'm stuck with what I got. $23 and it's actually 24. And 6 ounces of finish would be 30 ounces. With 20 ounces of drivetrain, it's 50 ounces. And if people don't believe I can finish them in 6 ounces, I'll bet you. Ask John. He didn't believe it either, but he's doing it now. The diet. If you're not on the diet, you are making a serious mistake. It takes a lot of work, a lot of sanding, but let's see what he says over here. We gotta get that off. Then we gotta start detail sanding. Steve Berry, a Mustang Pathfinder Giske Nobler Bear 46 Super Aries, even an imitation. No. On the thinning out the tail sections. Yeah, stall. This airplane don't stall. The tail section is a pretty important thing. I've already made this 2.1 ounces. That's almost an ounce lighter than I normally make them, just for the simple construction of this. And you know, it's stiff as it is now. I don't want to risk failure. If I took a 1/16 of an inch off or whatever, I wouldn't gain even a gram. So that's out of the question. I've already cut all the material out that I can get out of it. And I mean, I suppose I could go in and hollow some things out, but I definitely don't want to make it I don't want to make it weak, that's for sure. Because it's pretty stiff now, but when it gets covered, it'll be really stiff. I don't have to worry about it folding because it's plywood. That's what Doran was saying. Well, I can't believe you didn't attach your wingtips to the spar. Well, shit, they're plywood. It's balsa plywood, but the grains running every which way. There are 9 or 10 pieces in this. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 pieces in this tip. Plus the wingtip weight box goes out an extra bit, and you're just not going to break them. You know, he was worried about bumping them. They're not going to break. You're going to dent them, but you're not going to break them. Okay, you can ask away. What's the question? I don't sell them if that's what you're going to ask. I got a lifetime supply left. Second time I bought them. So they last about 10 years. We got to go around and get all the bogies on this thing. I better order the 320 today so I get it tomorrow. I don't know where it is. Well, I've already stayed 15 minutes longer than I was gonna. Blabbing. Let's see here. You must have to cut sections out of the tubing. Yes, I do it with a I do it with a crappy Harbor Freight Mighty Mike table saw. The only job this table saw does is to cut those slots, because it has no power. You'll be lucky to cut paper, but it does cut those slots. When I bought it, it was, I had two of them. I don't know what happened to the other one. First one time was 27, then it was 35. Now they're 50 bucks. Don't waste your money. Figure out how to do it without that saw, because it will not cut anything except that notch. And they want 50 bucks for it. No good. We need to lose this. These are about as light as you're going to get. I think they're 7 grams, maybe less. 8 grams. To get elevators at 8 grams is pretty tricky. Yeah, we're gonna have to look around. I had a little left, 320 left. Enough to last me till tomorrow, I think. But now I'm going to silk span the fuselage, and silk span the rudder, and then put the superfill in these cracks. Don't put the superfill in first. Much as you're tempted, don't do that. Yeah, I think we'll order some sandpaper today. Put it on my new Amazon Prime card. I can order $10,000 worth of sandpaper. I wonder what the payment would be on that. $10,000 worth of sandpaper. That's good. I must say it's coming out really nice. I wish it was a little lighter, but you know, I wanted to be 48 ounces, but I just don't see that happening. I don't have the wood like I had when I built them others. No, the tube goes in the balsa first, then you cut the slots. I got a hinge video on my channel. Go to Sunhanger's main page and search the channel for hinge installs. Now, the tube was an afterthought that John came up with. Really good idea. I used to just cut the notches here and just do the work right in a 1 inch area. But putting those wires all the way through it are really good. And this one is in reverse. See, the wire comes out on the flap, on the end, on the flap. But on these, because I had these counterbalance weights, I couldn't come out the end. The saw would have just cut that off. So the wire's inside going this direction. And it can't come out because the horn blocks it. So I just put it all together. Of course, I'm not going to be able to finish this with the hinges off, so I'll do that the old way. But I can finish the hinges on that one, which is not a problem. I guess we'll work on, when I come back from Harbor Freight, we'll work on these fillets here. I'm going to need to make a pattern. Make a pattern and get it glued together, because I got to cut 6 pieces to get that done. Start your own shop. Call it Sparky's Balsa Dust Factory. Yeah, there's lots of dust here. Whole lot of dust. I guess I'll pin that up there. We could take a little bit off there. Get the drum on it. You know, when I say don't carry around any more weight than necessary, you know I'm fanatical when I'm going to take the corner off these little hinge block things here in the tail. I could really screw that up. I need to stop that. I need to stop that. It could get away from me and go crazy. Be better to do it like this. Remember my saying, if it ain't glued to something, you don't need it. You don't need it. Why is it there? I could have made them half the size. Of course, they didn't weigh anything, but everything weighs something. Ah, shit. And break out my mother's saw. Where is it? Right here. My mom knew I'd like this, and she was absolutely right. Wish she was still around too. Okay, you get to see what I'm doing here. Let me I'm gonna go after I get these cut. See this block here? See that block there? I'm taking the corners off of it. It's got to be there. What the hell's that? Oh, water bottle. It's got to be there for a hinge block. That's what the tail sticks in. But I don't need that much, so we'll just... You think, what could that weigh? Well, it weighs something. Oh. It weighs something. I don't know what it weighs, but it weighs something. Yeah, I'm sure if I'd have used the Dremel tool, it could have got away with me and taken out a rib or something stupid, so best do it by hand. That looks better. Looks like I paid attention to what I was doing instead of just glued a piece of wood on there. If it ain't glued to something, it ain't worth having. You don't need that much. It only needs enough. Shit. Yeah, in the words of Charlie Sheen, enough. How many members? Enough. All right, we've been on 2.5 hours. I don't want to make the video editor go crazy. I think it's going to be a cool video set. He's got some ideas to knock all this down. He took 3 hours and compacted it into 10 minutes. So, of course, he picked a subject. We started out drawing the plans, the thought of the VIPER, drawing the plans. But we're going to redraw them. You know, I'll redo the pencil drawings to more what I have here than what I started out, because they're, you know, I traced the parts out, but there was some changes that I did to make it work, because it has to work. I don't want to offer a set of plans that you got to figure out. I want to offer a set of plans that are exact. Because even like Billy Ward's USA 1, you got to figure it out because the beam is not right in that on that set of plans. I think it needs to be a 1/4 inch thicker or something. And some of the, the mounting and just some of the stuff is just not right. So we're going to make sure everything is right before they're sent out. Right, Steve? We're going to have a good set of plans. Well, I need some more. I think I'll just put some simple green on there. We'll do some simple green right there. Whatever that shit is. Acro green. See, I drew the fuselage sides out, and I made a mistake when I cut the fuselage sides. It's not a mistake, but might as well be. In the drawing, I had to move the exhaust stack hole back 1/4 inch to clear the engine. That's all well and good, but any of the people that are going to tackle this airplane are going to be competent builders, I'm sure. All right, let me get off of here. I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and do some other shit today, and I don't want to spend all day. I got to clean this mess up. And I figured today I'll clean the mess up. I'll get the bench cleared off. I'll draw the plans. It won't take me long to pencil them. I got to get them off to Steve so he can start the CAD work. I hope you got a CAD file of a Super Tiger 60. That'll help immensely. It's got a 3/4 inch prop extension in it, available from Jim Lee or John Jordan, but he's not making them. He made this one. But the first ones I got were from Jim Lee, so I know where to get them. Let me get the aqua green on that. That'll dry me fruit until I get that smoothed out. Stay off of this stuff. You don't want to use much of this stuff. This stuff is heavy. But it dries fast, so we'll do it up with that. It's only a little spot. This is an ounce worth right here. There's the first finished part on there. See, I filled that. There was a little dip right there. See, right there, you can see it. Don't use much of that stuff. That stuff there is heavy. Anybody that is old enough to remember the red lacquer putty, they called it red lead because it had lead in it. It was pretty heavy. This is a little lighter than that red lead, but it's a better product. Doesn't shrink. Come on now. I let it scab up. There we go. You want to sand all that off, all of it off. Don't let it don't let it stay on there. It's heavy. But I like it because it's fast. It's pro body shop stuff. In the body business, time is money. But you have to be careful. So we'll stop there and get it all sanded off. All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back later on this afternoon with some more sanding. You can look for the next week of these videos, sanding and finishing. We'll sand it out good. I'll get the glass on the nose, get the fillets in. Actually not. I'll get the fillets glued in, but I won't mold them in until after it's covered. We'll do the sanding, and then the tissuing, and then the doping, and the sanding, and then the sanding, and then of course some more sanding, and then some doping, and then some sanding in the next week. So I want her covered up here as quick as I can so that the elements don't change things. And the nice thing about beam wings, they're easy to straighten out if something goes crazy. You can straighten them real easy. You just got to look at them and make sure they're square, you know, straight. This one here is dead nut straight. I need a long bar that wing again. But all right, we'll see you after a bit. Fair winds, tight lines. See you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And that little heart icon at the bottom, if these videos help you, please drop me a tip with a super thanks. See ya.